Hey, I'm getting started on the driver's door. I wasn't sure how bad it was going to be, but I've got this. I knew this was had a big hole in here, so it looks like I'll need to come back here. Just a little piece right in here is all I'll need to take out. I'll probably just go along that seam because it'd be easier to probably go ahead and just put a square piece in there. I'll just need to make sure I get this right angle going here, and then I'll have to fold back around the back. Then there was another little spot coming through, but it looks like I've sanded through all that rust there, and there's a spot here and it was just some surface rust that didn't come through. So that, I think I'd just prime that and be done with that. This one here, I'll have to look at a little closer, but I think it's going to be okay just like it is. I might have to do a little bit more sanding, but I think that's going to be good. So it looks like all I need to do is replace just this little section right in here. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was afraid to, like everything else is going on, it'd be going clear down here and have a whole big panel to replace now. But I just have just this part of the door. This is probably going to be a little bit more challenging to get this angle right, to get that door to look like it closes right. And this right here, and then fold those edges over. And that's be what I get started on next. Is I'll cut the piece out that I'm going to need to put in there. Yeah, back on the door here, I've cut a piece out to replace this piece that was bad here. And this is going to go right up in here. I've got it shaped to match that same angle. I just had to put a little bend in there, so I'll slide this over and bend this around that corner. And that'll get me the lip that's on the inside here. I don't know if you can see them, but there's a lip on the inside of your door. And I'll have to work on getting that lip. And if I look down at the bottom, you can see there's a lot of rust, but it looks like it's almost mostly surface rust until you get up here a little bit more. So I'll look at that. I don't think I'll have to do too much with that, I'm hoping. But I want to get that fixed so that I don't have to worry about that rusting through. But that's where we're at. All right, back in here, I've got the piece all formed to fit in here. And what I did is to put the lip on here, I took and clamped it to this angle iron and bent it over square and then folded it over. So now I got my little ridge down here. And when I get ready to do some welding, I'll put a little tack on there to keep that, seal that up. And then about ready to cut out the piece. I clamped this on here and cut the piece out, and get shut on my hand, shut up here. So what I'll do is I'll clamp this to the door where I want it to go, and then all I'll do is I'll just cut them in like I've been doing on the other ones, and just start tacking it up. Time to get cutting and tacking and cutting. All right, I got the patch ready, and I got it cut out, the bad spot cut out. A little bit of rust on in here, just like the surface rust. I think I can put some stuff on there. Then I got the piece all ready to go in. I got to trim this down just a little bit because I want to stay down below this seam. So I'll line up the bottom here, and then if I line up this edge, I've got this shape to match the same shape as the car door. So all I have to do, and I may have to do a little bit of trimming around here, just a little bit of fitting, so it looks like it's a nice straight fit. So if I line this piece up here and this piece down here, then I should be good. So next thing I do is I'm going to clamp it on after I put some primer on it, and that weld through primer I've been using, and then I'll be able to tack this piece on. All right, got the piece tacked on, and when you look over here on this side, it's a nice flush. Looks like the angle's right. It's down here, it's flush down here. So now what I'll do is I'll just start cutting this in here, and I'll have to weld a little bit on the back side too. If I go take a look at the back side here, where I have this, that'll have to get welded down. I have to grind this down. Okay, there we go. Grind this down a little bit and get it flat, and then weld this piece to it. It'll come back. You can see it moving back. I need to get that tack back there like that. So that's the next thing I do is I'll put a couple tacks back there to hold that in place like it's supposed to be, and then we'll cut the rest of it in. Well, I have the patch all in and welded up. Now I just need to put a little bit of mud on there, a little Bondo on there, body filler, and then I can do some priming on it, and then be ready to paint when it gets nice again. Well, here we go. I got the first coat of body filler in. I put it on over a big old area, and I'll sand probably most of that away to get it all smoothed out, then get it feathered in. Well, here we are after I sanded that first coat. I put on, I think, way too much the first time, but wasn't sure where it was going to be at. But as you run your hand across here, there's a little bit of a high spot right here. As you can see, it's sanded out. It got down to the middle here. A little bit of a low spot here. And then when you're going down here, there's a little bit of a low spot right in here. You can probably see that little line there. So there's a little bit more to fill in there. And then that probably 1 or 2 more coats, and that should get good. I need to work on this ridge right here. It needs to be a little bit straighter. Other than that, I've got a pretty good start on here, and that's where I'm at with after sanding the first coat off. Time to put the second coat on, and hopefully it dries. Last night it got kind of cool out, so it didn't dry till this morning. So I'll put another coat on, and we'll see where it goes. Just a little quick update here. This is how much I'm mixing up. I'm not mixing up too much at a time. There's my finger right down here next to it, so you can see that's maybe about a thumb's worth of putty, and it goes a long ways when you're not filling in very big holes. Well, here's my second coat. As you can see, there's a bunch of ridges in here. I didn't realize at the time when I started, I mixed it up, that I had a little rough edge on the end of the spreader, and it translated into there, but really not much you can do with it. It's already started to set up, so I'll just sand it back down smooth and put another coat. I'll clean the edges up on there. And how I sanded the first coat was with one of these, just a random orbital sanders. I happen to have a Cobalt that I use a lot because it's battery powered. But after that, I'll start going to a flatter one, a quarter sheet palm sander, and sand it down smooth and get it there. And that way it'll flatten out the ridges, because with the random orbital, if you tilt it at an angle, it can put grooves in it. So that's where I'm at with the second coat. I'll wait for that to dry. It might be all day. I might have to do it tomorrow. I don't know how long it's going to take to dry today, because it's only about 50 degrees out. Well, I sanded down that last coat and put another coat on. This one looks a little bit better, and it's filling in a little bit more. There's still a couple of little low spots right over in here, and it's a little bit low there. But we'll let this dry and put another coat on, and I used a small little dab, and we'll just keep building up a little bit at a time till we get there.